This morning I was trimming up some plants, and one of them was a rose, and I had some pieces that I had to take off that I really wasn't happy about, so I have found a way to save it, and I'm going to press them. So I had this board cut, and I have firm pieces of board with newspaper and also paper bags. And I put the newspaper to help absorb any moisture. Slowly it will absorb the moisture as it dries. So I've taken this little rosebud and I have cut it in half. Cut it, in half so that when it starts to really press and dry, it'll go flat and it will look, like, the rose. I can put it on something. I have buds, little buds. This bud here I actually cut in half also. So now I put the paper bag, and then several sheets of newspaper, another piece of board, and just put a little more, and then I put this other piece of wood that will get the holes. There, come on there. That, put washers on the bolts, and then I slowly put that together. So I make sure I tighten these butterfly nuts on here. These washers, they're on the underside so that they grab up. Try to make this as tight as I can. And that's it. As I get other flowers, I'll bring them in and I'll put the petals out, and I'll put more paper and newspaper in the board that helps make it firm so that as you make layers it doesn't distort the ones that you're putting on new layers. So pressing flowers, playing here. I like it. So I've gotten into my dry flowers here again. I have some fresh ones about to press. These two, I'm going to be honest, I don't even remember what this is, but it's from last year, and it's made a nice, delicate, dried flower. So I can put that on any number of things, stationery, cards, nice, delicate. And then this, it is not yarrow, but it's one of the umbral plants, something from last year. So I'm still learning, and I'm thinking about putting those two together in something. Maybe make a picture frame and do some stuff. About a week ago, I pressed this. These are some ferns I got in a walk. I thought I might want to put that, in the base of something. These are really nice, and they dried up pretty well. I'm putting this down here, and you're not seeing it. There we go. So these are some ferns and plants that I picked during my walk, so that I could press them. So that might be fun. I have some, where could be the roses. Here we go. The roses I did maybe 3 weeks ago. So here, let's get this to where you can see it. So we have stems that I make so that I can maybe eventually put a dried rose on that stem in a way. A little bit of glue, piece of paper. Here's some of the buds that I dried, again, I think about 2 or 3 weeks ago. And so I can kind of put these together and play with it a little bit. Get them to where I am happy about how they line up. You know, maybe I want to put another, something like that. These were buds, rose buds, that I cut in half. I cut them in half with my little tool and put them on here. And so I have this rose. And there is, I know there's another bud like this that I cut in half. Now these other ones that are actually on here, they're not cut in half. They are done like that. So that's the latest one, playing with that. The brown paper bag will help pull the moisture and it won't leave any ink stain, you know, ink that I use for the newspaper. So that's how I separate those. And I'm going to go ahead and put quite a bit of newspaper. And then get my, that's a hard, it's paper board, but that will allow it to, I'm not sure what it's doing underneath there, but I'm not going to take it off. Here we go, more newspaper, put a dab of it. There we go. Okay, so I've tightened these down, try to get them nice and tight, and as the plant dries, you come along and twist it some more. These were thick ones. I will look at playing with this stuff. You know, how I might want to put them together. Whether I want the roses with this umbral plant, or whether I want to do the these delicate things. Might look kind of nice. We'll see if I get to playing with them. I'll come back on and I'll try to video some of it. I decided that I had this out, so I was going to go ahead and play with it. And I was thinking about putting it on a piece of paper and some of these delicate flowers. Now, I'm not gluing it now. Normally, I think I would just put a little tiny drop of glue when I put something down, and that way it stays. But I'm just playing, and I don't want to make anything permanent. So, get an idea that you can be creative. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, so I played and made a little bouquet out of my dried flowers. And I found this old frame. I had put the glass on it, try to see if I could get it to stay somewhat within the glass. I had to bump some of it in some. Now, not that would do this just like this. I would probably cut it and have the paper to size and, you know, be able to set everything in there. But this gives you an idea that you can do little things. You know, to me, coming to North Carolina, these are plants that are from here. And so I'm going to frame some. This looks like it might be fun. And hang it in here. Or maybe I might even take it down to Florida so I have something that I can remember about some of my stay here. That sounds like a good idea.